Recently, China has banned video games with the exception of 1 hour on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for a total of 3 hours of gaming per week. Those are rookie numbers. You need to pump those up. I didn't make an initial video covering this news when it came out for a couple of reasons. One, a ton of other journalistic platforms like Kotaku and Press Square had already done it. Not to mention every YouTuber and their mother hopped on their channel to make a video. Lastly, all those videos were pumped full of fluff because really the fact is only like a 30-second video. Hey, China only allows 3 hours of gameplay on weekends and holidays for anyone under 18 years of age. Done. People stretch it out to a 10-minute video. That's the sweet spot for uploads right now, according to the algorithm, is about 10 minutes. Alrighty, Stallions and Stallionettes, sharing my screen, we have an article pulled up here from Washington Post. Opinion: China doesn't have the right solution, but excessive video gaming is a real problem. I would have to agree with that. I made a video about 6 or 7 months ago about video game addiction and are gamers lazy or stupid or ignorant, and basically the entire psychology that goes on behind the scenes in the average gamer's brain. That will be linked in the description below. It was a hot take, it was extremely spicy, but it was digested very well by the gaming community. When the Chinese government announced that it would limit those under 18 to 3 hours a week of online games, and to be specific, they can't pick and choose what hours they are. It is between 8 and 9 p.m. on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, holidays as well. I suspect many parents in the United States wondered, why can't that happen here? Well, I have to retort right there. First of all, statistically, the largest demographic of people that play video games, or gamers if you will, is between 25 and 39 years old, meaning a lot of those people are parents. Not to mention, even if somebody is substantially older than that, maybe they're in their 50s or 60s and have children, maybe they didn't grow up with an Atari 2600 and a ColecoVision and a Commodore 64. According to studies, most parents really don't care if their children play video games as long as they are still keeping up with their studies, meeting the curriculum, getting good grades, doing their chores, keeping up with their extracurricular activities such as sports, gymnastics, Girl Scouts, whatever. Then in their free time, it is just that, free time. They want to go skip rocks at the local pond? Great. If they want to play video games up in their room, great. And the fact is, a lot of parents enjoy playing video games with their children because it is a bonding experience and it's something that they both enjoy. And when it's something like, say for example, a Wii with the motion sensing and whatnot, or maybe a VR game or something like that, it's very, very interactive, and even members of the family like Nana and her old weak-ass hip that don't really necessarily game can all come together and enjoy some family time if you don't like playing board games or whatever because they're old and they're boomerific. The Washington Post is saying that Americans are thinking, why can't that happen here? That goes against the fundamentals of America's society. And last but certainly not least, I'm just gonna leave this little cherry on top of this little cream pie cake here. If you don't want your children to play video games, guess what? They're living under your roof. You don't need the government to regulate this for you. You can do it yourself by telling them, hey, you can only play 1 hour of video games per night, or hey, you can't play video games, period, while you're under my roof. Yeah, your kids are gonna resent you and hate you, and they're gonna move out at 17 to their buddy's house where they can play their PlayStation, but you have that control. You don't need the government to step in and be like, between the hours of 8 p.m. and 9 p.m., you will be allowed 5 rounds of PvP or 6 rounds of PvE entertainment. If you get sent to the gulag and do not succeed, your gaming session for the night will end. If you guys don't play Warzone, then that whole reference just right over the old head there. Of course it shouldn't. That type of government dictate would never happen in a democratic nation. Goddamn right. But as a psychologist in private practice who specializes exclusively in helping individuals who are compulsively using technology, so you know those social media swipers that literally can't get off of Instagram and TikTok, video game addiction has worsened during the course of the pandemic. Obviously, what else are people gonna do? Start crocheting? Maybe pick up scrapbooking? Perhaps wash the dog 3 times a day? Maybe get into baking so they become savagely obese? Maybe that's better than being a gamer? I don't know. Weird. The pandemic has not only increased the problem of compulsive gaming, in my experience, but also produced more problems amongst a younger demographic, where the majority were once college students. More of my patients are now in their teens and still in high school or even middle school. A worrisome trend because we are seeing a shift in the marketing of digital products to younger and younger ages, even infants. Now, I personally haven't seen any marketing campaigns directed at infants, like in between the Gerber ads and the applesauce ads. Get V-Bucks, swipe your mom's credit card from her purse and get these new dank skins. they can't understand these words because they're infants. So I'm not sure what this gentleman is basing this on. He has a doctorate though, so he's got to know what he's talking about. That piece of paper says so. My patients tend to play 6 hours or more per day. Good, enjoy it now, because once you have kids or a job or you're going to school, i.e. university, college, you're not going to be able to play 6 hours of games per day. You have a gaming YouTube channel. The sad thing is you don't even get to game that often because you're making videos about news in the gaming community and industry, which significantly impairs an individual's functioning at school or work. If that is the case, that is when you have video game addiction, and that is when you have a problem. If it is affecting your performance at school, at work, in bed, sleeping, I meant, like it's affecting your sleep schedule, that's an issue. Their social lives and relationships with family members are often janky because you ignore them. You can't be the leader of your guild, or you can't be the OP meta carry for your team, your strike team, right? Your fire team, your squad, if you will, if you've got to put up with your wife's bullcrap. You know what I mean? Making you do stupid stuff like take out the trash and whatnot. Problem with these compulsive gamers is that they become trick-ass ponies. I'm sorry, one-trick ponies. The ideal is to have a diversity of interests, hobbies, and activities. These will naturally culminate when you back off, ease up on some of these restrictions. Generally, children are going to find other hobbies besides gaming. For example,
I like to play soccer and I play video games. I'm going to go play soccer with Jared down the street for 2 hours. Then I'm going to come play a couple of hours of Fortnite. Then I'm going to take a shower, wash my ass, and go to bed.
Now, if you're devoting about 90 to 100% of your hobby time, your fun time, your me time to gaming, you might have video game addiction. You need to come to the realization that you have a problem and you need to make a change. Once you're ready to make a change, these tools will work because the child or young adult focuses their energy on getting better rather than on how to break the firewall or reset the time on the device so they get more hours, or use the neighborhood's unrestricted Wi-Fi. Why does your neighbor have an unrestricted Wi-Fi network? Or download 36 hours of video content, probably gamer heaven videos, while in their McDonald's parking lot, or getting a friend to lend them a contraband device. We're talking about an illegal back alley black market Nintendo Switch with the serial number scraped off the back so it can't be traced back to you that you were using it. Serious shit we're talking about here. Now, I do fully agree with this final paragraph, this closing statement from the Washington Post. China has the wrong and likely fruitless solution to a real problem. Helping children make better choices around technology is harder than a technological crackdown, whether imposed by government or a frustrated parent. It involves continuing dialogue between parents and children, some moderate degree of monitoring and limit setting, and support and guidance from the institutions and organizations that make up our community. Some of the stuff in this article was a little bit wonky and I had to lay my rebuttal down, but this closing argument, or this final paragraph in this article, is actually a really good take, and I agree with that. They're saying some moderate restrictions, not obviously telling your children, if I catch you with a game console, I'm gonna break both your kneecaps. Maybe limiting them to 1 hour on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays might be a little bit restrictive, but hey, your kids ain't my kids. At the end of the day, if you are suffering from any kind of addiction, whether it's substance abuse with something like alcohol or drugs, you're a sex addict, you are addicted to binge eating, you're practicing gluttony, or you are into hurting yourself physically. If you have any kind of an addiction where it is hindering or hampering any aspect of your life, that would be the 6 aspects of life here, guys. I'm going to give you a little life lesson here. Physical, mental, spiritual, relationships and social, career, and finances. And yes, those two are separate. Career is what you do to make money, and finances is what you do with the money after you have it. Are you investing it? Are you making it multiply? Are you making your money work for you? Now, if any of those 6 aspects are being hampered, handicapped, or suffering because of anything, video games included, you have a problem and you need to make some slight tweaks or adjustments to get back on track. But I do think what China's doing is incredibly restrictive, and it is literally not going to solve the problem. Now, the thing is, the majority of the games that they play over there in China is not what we're used to over here, with either like small indie games, racing sims, first-person shooters, BRs, MMORPGs. Like 90% of the games they play over there are mobile-based stuff. Like, think of it like Raid Shadow Legends. So keep in mind that's primarily what people are playing in droves. But luckily, I live in North America, and the majority of my demographic is in North America, Australia, and Canada. Also have some in India and Belgium and Hungary and whatnot. Actually, I'm kind of hungry right now. But if I do have any Chinese visitors watching this video, I do hope that your country relaxes a little bit, calms the fuck down, because they are way too hype right now. If you guys enjoyed this video, you enjoyed my take on this topic, liking it will help it to get seen by more people, so this information will reach and assist them as well, which in turn helps me grow this little YouTube channel, which I greatly appreciate. Subscribe for more content like this. I cover news in the gaming community and industry, as well as tutorials helping you get set up streaming and YouTubing, and I will see you tomorrow because I upload daily. Peace.